Welcome back to Roadside Nuggets, everybody. How's everybody doing this evening? It is 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, October 28th. I like number 28. It's like, I was a big fan of Toy Story growing up as a child. Watching that movie, it was like Buzz Lightyear's like main phrase, like to infinity. And since I ever got like into spirituality and stuff and started looking at like the spiritual meaning behind numbers, the number 8 and affinity, and this the symbol of it, I just like 2, 8 to infinity and beyond. So definitely I thought that was kind of like I wanted that to be year 28 for me. Did not happen. Humanity did not hit the to infinity and beyond part. We're still getting to that point, but definitely want to recount. The angels were hard to me, and definitely I want to just give like a grand and general thank you to everybody who wished me a happy birthday and everything this week, the entire time actually. Since October actually started, it's been incredibly intense for me. A lot of different things coming up, a lot of emotional different things to transform. Definitely my birthdays have never been a happy moment for me. It hasn't been in a very long time, so it just happened to be that this was that moment in time when all that decided to ball up and blast to the surface. So definitely got to go through a lot of that and purge and release. I'm very grateful to Mom and the angels for allowing me the space, and definitely that he experiences that triggered that to release and come up so I could get through that. So definitely, again, thank you to everyone who wished me happy birthday. I saw them all. I went through it. I feel I hearted most of all of them. I feel I did. And if not, I will go back and make sure I do that. Again, very grateful and appreciate it. I felt the love, and definitely it was very needed in moments because I was definitely going through a whirlwind of different emotions. Felt like I was drowning in different moments. So just receiving that love and just like the heartfelt wishes from everybody, it definitely helped uplift me and it give me energy in a lot of moments. So thank you again. Moving forward, so with today on the 28th. For October, definitely there's a lot of energy still climaxing. We still have not hit the cap off point, but things are still climbing and getting more intense. The solar flare up, I feel that definitely the solar storm that is definitely kicking up a lot of debris. Okay, so for everybody out there, again, as I have continuously on every live stream that we've gone up here and talked about, again, I'm going to stress the importance of being grounded, of being stable, of keeping your energies in check as much as possible. And if there is something going out of line, if there's something within you coming up, you've got to address it. Definitely in these moments right now, this is going to be the biggest point. We talked about it for weeks. We knew this was coming. So as the different parts of ourself come up, these are all the different parts of ourself. Again, what I shared yesterday or the day before actually on live stream about these are the parts that we have either denied, we've kind of blown past really fast, or they've suited us thus far. They've gotten us to this point. But as with every evolution, as with every change and growth and expansion, there is a part of the self that has to dissolve, that has to die to allow way for the new. So even if it's worked until this point, this is the point I'm making. It doesn't matter if it worked before. It does not matter if it made sense before. It does not matter if it completely just aligned in the stars, everything, it was brilliant. It doesn't matter. The energies are changing so fast, and we have to be able to not adapt. It's not about survival. So we're not adapting to anything. We are evolving and expanding, making us an organic, equational, basically an equal organic balance to our environment. The environment's already in 5D. It's waiting for us. And as we come online into 5D in that consciousness, we will ignite a spark that will set off on this planet. It will completely change the reality we are standing in, literally seemingly overnight. But humanity has to already be there for it to even have that kind of experience, or start to even unwrap that kind of, drastic change before our very eyes. You see, we have to be of that consciousness to even be able to be ready for something like that. And we'll say to people right now on the planet, if this thing were to unroll the way, like what it could very much be with the galactics and the angels in creation keep holding back many different moments in the timeline so we can catch up, right? And that's an important fact to keep in heart too. Humanity's been delayed. This is not a fact of we're just coming into this learning now, like this is all new stuff happening. No, this has been happening for a long time. We have been delayed in our growth and our expansion. And so a lot of this is catching up. A lot of this is speeding up to where we're supposed to be. That has nothing really to do with what we're here to do, right? And that's an important point to make. We're stressing with so much about the purpose and the mission and why we're all here, yet we're still not even dealing with all the baggage that we have right now. That's just the minimum. That's the minimum, folks, of what we have to deal with and work with right now at this point, because once we clear our own stuff, therefore it becomes, space for the collective. What are we here for? What's the purpose? Now we start our real work of why we are here, our real purpose of what we are here to do. That's when that kicks in. But you got to clear yourself so that you get yourself ready for that. You got to prepare for that. It's like a training course, right? And all the different pieces inside yourself, as you put that back to together, you give that power back to yourself, give that love and support back to yourself, the nurturing back to you. You empower yourself and grow yourself to the level that you are able to therefore have the capacity to deal with the collective, humanity, other people and their experiences in life, traumas and issues, and be able to hold space for them because you have gone through your own process. You have held space for yourself. You have gone through your own internal transformations. Now you're capable for doing it for another. It's not this whole flip thing where you go save everybody and then somehow it's supposed to atone for your own sins, or it's supposed to pay your debts or bring things back to you in kindness or greatness. That's not how things work. That's where a lot of people have their mind stuck on. You are not being... there's nobody coming around right behind you, walking behind you. Everything you do, did this good deed, yep, did this, all right, all this amounts to this. Like, that's very robotic, very, brain, mental, very mind-based, linear measurement-based. This plus this equals this inputs this. Like, no. That's not how creation works. That's not how life works. That's the effect of being in this 3D matrix society and being so robotic, being so programmed and conditioned. And so in prediction, ulterior motive, the whole left side of the brain function being overused with that part of our life has created quite a bit of confusion. So, long story short, as a summary, all of this must be acknowledged, must be transformed, must be, gone through the layers. And as you start leveling yourself up, as you keep clearing those layers out, you began creating the space within your vessel, within your being, that allows collective energies and things to, again, become part of your experience. So you can transform. You begin taking on extra weight from the collective of humanity that is still lagging behind, right? The whole reason why things are speeding up is because the people who are already awake and doing the work are doing more, right? They're taking on their own energies and their own responsibility, their own accountability, but also taking on collective energy at the same time as well, to the most of their capacity, as much as they can do. And a lot of times it's unconscious. They don't even know they're doing it, but it's happening, right? And by this happening, by everyone doing this in flow every single day as we move forward, it is creating less and less of a heavy load on the rest of the unconscious collective that is trying to wake up, but they're so buried. They're so buried in density and energies that they don't have hope and pray right now, right? So as much as we can do, as much as we can take on and keep stepping up, keep being the example, keep being love and light, and keep pushing ourselves to be greater and grander, holding more light, that means we take on more collective energy. That means we help clean it up faster, which means it makes the load on them lighter, which means they can wake up quicker. You see, it's all a whole unity consciousness, collective ecosystem thing going on. Everybody has a part. Everyone participates. Everyone has a role. It's important that everyone step up and, facilitate their role and actually take charge, claim their divinity. Feel the honor and respect that goes into your role as being here, right? Every single person on this planet is a royal angel. You did not end up on this planet by a fluke. You didn't just happen to just pop down here or happen to take the wrong portal tube down planet Earth when you thought you were going to Mars or something. It was just right there next to that tube. No, it's nothing like that ever or will ever occur. Everything is so deliberate, it is so precise and intentional within creation. God intends every single experience and thing that happens for a purpose, for a reason, for whatever is highest. To show us everything that we need to see within ourselves, within life, what we are doing, what we are living. And a lot of times, in our experience in life, we've gone through so many different experiences and so many different opportunities have presented themselves to us, but we weren't ready, right? And I feel that this is definitely another part of the energy that's being triggered for a lot of people in this season too, is regret. All the so-called quote-unquote regrets, even though regrets aren't really real, yes, we can discern that. But where the collective is in programming dysfunction, it is real to them. And this is where they are, in regret. So this is where not only the forgiveness for what you have already accepted and acknowledged, is also the regrets that we have in life for our choices that we have made and the ones that we didn't make. The ones you hold over your head, the ones you didn't make that choice, you didn't go to that place, you didn't make that move, you didn't become, that's a lot of the heavy weight that we weigh on ourselves as well. It's definitely something that haunts you through the years as you are still, whatever goal, whatever intention you've chosen for yourself, whatever lifestyle you are currently living, you still have the haunting echoes of the choices you didn't make, or what if you made that other choice? Things could have been better. It could have been a different way, or it could have been a better experience or whatever. And we torment ourselves with that. I remember that was definitely part of my experience in 3D for many years, especially when I came off all the pharmaceutical medications and stuff. Just the haunting of the choice, and knowing that once you make the choice, you can't go back, you can't change it, you can't unchoose what you've done. And that was one of the main things that haunted me in my life with the things I did. I was so scared to make a choice. I was so scared to be confident about it, because I was so aware of the gravity, the weight of that it could dictate everything. It could change everything. It could affect other people. It could affect everything. It could change everything with one choice that someone makes. And I definitely buckled under even the anxiety and the pressure of the enormous awareness of that. And it took me a while to process that and get around to okay, I still gotta be normal in some ways, still gotta make a living, still gotta be functional at some point. I can't just completely unplug myself, which I definitely tried in moments. And I was like, okay, I got to live. I have bodily functions, things have to work, I can't just die halfway, so to speak. I might as well just get it over with if I'm really going out that way. So, definitely the regrets, you got to be able to, if you can laugh it off, or you can get yourself to, just see it as, you were being rash. You were being very, very passionate in a moment. Maybe you were being, irrational completely. Maybe you're being, self-hating, or just self-judgment. That's what happens a lot of times, and that's what builds the regret bigger than what the initial experience was. And it builds such a poison, such a venom inside, and it's so intoxicating, it starts to corrupt and fester other things, and it builds definitely into other experiences, other lower frequencies that we start going into as well, because we are carrying around the regrets. So the regrets are going to push us into other frequencies because we already had that. And that's only going to get bigger. So the more regrets you have, it's going to start turning into bitterness. So now you have regret and bitterness, right? And then also you have, not even, bitterness and regret, you have resentment. Resentment is another big frequency that the ego tries to pull us into. I've fought with resentment for years and years and years. It's a deep, deep poison energy, but it definitely seeks to, find any and all reason to justify the anger and the rage, or the hatred or the blame, or whatever our self-appointed choice is in life, right? And this is very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous because we get self-obsessed. This is how people who have created their own philosophies for themselves in life, people who are very smart and brilliant individuals, but where they have misguided their own self based off their own beliefs because they have, been traumatized or they've experienced different experiences in their life, but they have not done their work in processing. So therefore, their brilliance and their amazing intelligence now falls to the lower functioning of the ego. So the ego just manipulates and deceives the brilliance in someone and uses it for lower. So even though someone can be so amazing, can be just such an amazing, intelligent person, can easily be the flip and be the most horrible, awful person ever. And it's really with just the flip of that. All that brilliance and divinity and beautiful, childlike creativity just flips because of unprocessed emotions, unprocessed hatred and anger and all that rage. I was there. So many of us. We have 8 billion people on the planet. Everybody raise your hands because we're all there. We're all on that roller coaster riding, right? And the quicker we can get over this, the quicker we can address this and just express it out and keep it rolling, it's going to be able to transform it for the collective. It'll trigger it for release and bring it up. And this is definitely part of what is being released currently. Yeah, absolutely, for everybody on the planet. These solar storms, on top of all these other portals we have had, and just man, these energies are not wearing off fast enough before another one comes in. And that's, again, what I told everybody about 2 weeks ago. I expressed that, we were talking about mom gaslighting the gaslighters, that this is what the experience was going to be for us all with the energy. How the energy coming in was going to be back to back to back. And it was not going to let up fast enough before the ego just starts manipulating or starting to contort things. So the faster the energies can come in and cause shifts and change and transformations, the quicker the ego can die because it can't find a way to manipulate what it's experiencing currently. It has to learn, it has to record it first, then it deals with the details of the experience, and that's what it messes with. But if there's a constant experience coming in and so much energy, so much coming up, exploding and releasing, there is so much going on, the ego cannot get a grasp of that. And it keeps the ego scattered, therefore it allows you to be in a space of more vulnerability, more just I don't know what's going on because nothing's working. What you think, what you thought, none of it's turning out to be correct, right? So it keeps you in this space of just detachment almost, right? Which is the closest we really want to get the collective to. We want to push the collective as much to detachment as possible. So it's almost like shutting off your senses in a way, right? And so as these experiences are coming in, this is definitely what's being triggered within the left side of the brain, and all the belief systems within the left collarbone that we have internally created for ourselves. This is how we drive ourselves, how we motivate ourselves. This is how we think the world works or how we interact with each other. All of this is being triggered completely. It's under direct fire, right now. And so as these energies are coming in, it's going to create more cataclysms to keep bringing it to the surface. We're not even halfway through Scorpio season yet. So this energy now, as once we get to November, now I shared with everybody about almost a month ago now, once we get to November, November 6th is when that collective energy of the grief is going to get triggered to the surface. So this is why, again, we're going through all this. You got to get energy moving faster. You got to create a lot of momentum because once you get to grief is such a sluggish, muddy, such a it's like quicksand. Grief will grab and suck you in. It's like a black hole portal, right? And so for the collective to move through that massive trigger by around November 6th time frame, you got to create a lot of momentum now and get the ball rolling faster and faster to create momentum energetically. So by the time we get to that, there will be slowdown, absolutely. Just because of what energy we will collectively be dealing with at the time. But this is why mom and the angels are really, pushing us now with a lot of energy and really picking things up, is that energy of momentum is going to carry us through most of that grief while we crash into that energy. And when we start processing, start dealing with that, come to the surface, we're going to slow down. We're going to lose a lot of the momentum that we will be picking up now, right? But if we didn't have all this momentum and all this energy coming up and getting our attention, getting us alert, then by the time we hit that point, we would be lost in the sauce. It'd be like tip, 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 like drop out of nowhere, just like fall off the radar. You know, there would be no momentum, no incentive, no motivation. The collective wouldn't be moving on a whole lot of internal fire, really, at that time to push through the grief, really. So, again, all the experiences now are directly, divinely, you know, aligned for that specific reason to get everybody going, get the fires, you know, sparking off, and also, you know, this energy it's so multidimensional too, you know, because even though it incentivizes that part, also the passion. The passion is the most important part of, like, above all, you know, during this period, because that's definitely the phoenix energy, the passion. Like, even though all this is dying, even though all this is completely collapsing in on itself and shattering, you know, to the very floor, foundation of what it was, and being able to accept and embrace that, you know, that passion to still keep going, the passion to keep creating, the passion to never give up, the passion that still wants to go on, still has to live, still has to be, can't give up now. No, not now. I have to keep going. There's still more to do. I still have more to live, more to see, more to do. Right? That passion of life, that life force that ignites and is within every single one of us. You know, this has to get, you know, going, right? And it was interesting, like, I was on, I can't remember where I was. I was on a mission a couple of days ago, and I was driving. And it was interesting, I had the window rolled down to the side of me, and this car, and it was interesting, it got my attention, definitely, you know, because it was like, it was a newer car, you know, really nice new car, and like, it was like a long traffic light, so every once in a while, you know, of course, it would go green, some cars would move up, then turn red, so then you would stop again. So the whole time this was going on, this car to my left, it was brand new, Now Heart You. So, like, we would move up, and it would sound like the car would turn off, but I would still hear it running, and it was still like a slow run, but it sounded like it literally had turned off. And then the light turned green, so we started moving forward again, and it sounded like the car, you know, ignition, like it turned, it cranked. And the car was like, and it started driving it forward again, and then we stopped again, and then it clicked off again. And then we started going, and it cranked and turned on. So it was like, it was a continuous thing. So I was like, I don't know if that's like the model of that car, or that's something new they're doing with new cars to help with fuel efficiency or whatever like that. I don't know. Like, but it definitely got my attention. So then I was like, kind of let it go. And then the angels kind of like tapped me on the shoulder, like, hey. And I was like, oh, that was something. I was like, what was that? And they were like talking to me about shortstop, you know, and how a lot of like the energy within the collective, you know, right now is the whole point. A lot of this physical ascension that's still being delayed, that's not online yet, has to do with the physical vessel of humanity. It's not ready for a lot of the big stuff yet. The physical body has to get cleared, you know. And so they were talking to me about, you know, what they called, or what they were referring to me as shortstop. And the angels were sharing that, like, this is basically a collective experience that they're taking the collective through in so many moments through the rest of this year, called short stops, where basically it's like the energies will climax out of nowhere. It will lift and raise intensity, and then it will drop. The energy will raise again and intensify, and then it will drop, and then raise again, and it will continue this cycle continuously throughout the rest of this year. The point of this collective energy is to get the physical body to start generating its own energy, to start processing more higher energies, to start integrating more. But you gotta, it's almost like the physical body within. When I looked at it energetically a couple of days ago, when the angels were showing me it, I saw humanity's bodies as like dusty. You know, they're very dusty and rusty. They haven't been used to their full potential, you know, for a very long time, if ever. You know, it's kind of like something that's sitting on the shelf for years and years and years, just collecting a lot of dust. You know, you can't even see its full brilliance under all that dust. It's clouded, it's covered up. You know, and so this whole collective experience is coming in now, and this again was started yesterday. Yesterday night, I feel, is when it started to hit collectively for everybody. this is an effort to get the physical body to start shaking off a lot of the old energy. I had this experience before many years, probably almost like, I feel it's like 8 years ago. So 8 years ago, where, I was like driving home from work one day, and basically my whole body like lit up. My whole light body just activated. And it's almost like I had lost feeling in my whole body. So thank God I had two hands on the wheel when I was driving straight. It was a long, straight part of the highway. And so I can't remember how many minutes that was like that, but my body was paralyzed for moments. Coming down a hill off of like literally a highway and going straight, I could not feel my whole body. I had no motor skills at all. Everything was just non-responsive, and my whole body was just like a shock wave. It was just like completely like tingling very, very strongly and just going off. And it just felt like couldn't even feel my butt touching the seat. It felt like the whole floor of the car disappeared. Even though I could see it, I couldn't feel anything. It was crazy. And definitely I didn't panic, thank God. I'm grateful. But it took a couple of minutes before my feelings started to come back. And it was actually kind of uncomfortable towards the end. It got really intense, and almost like those needles, like those sharp needle-like, pink pricks, like when your leg goes to sleep and you feel it all over. And like it's like almost impossible to stand on your leg for a while until it goes away, because it's like such a weird, it doesn't really hurt, but it's such a overwhelming, powerful feeling. And that's what my whole body felt towards the end. And it was like a very unsettling feeling, But anyways, this is definitely, the experience that, they're pushing through the collective, is to pick you up through the energy and then, bring you to a stop. And then your body starts to adjust again, and then it gets hit with another intense wave where it surges massive amounts of energy through your energy channels, picking your vibration and your consciousness up, right? And then the energy cuts off. So then you drift down to wherever you're going to bottom out to. Now, keep this in heart. This is another part of this, key is, there's a baseline energetically, where humanity's baseline energetics are consciously, and as we all collectively move up, that bottom line of how low we will drop to as a collective and even individually, that starts to move up as well, collectively for all of us, because our high point of consciousness is moving up as well. So we move up as a unit like this, up the spectrum. So, with this energy, as we start hitting the collective and start, pulsating and surging high amounts of high vibrational, high conscious energy through them repeatedly, back to back, back to back, back to back, you're gonna start seeing the collective bottoming out and elevating at higher levels after a moment. Each time they start coming back down from a higher plane of consciousness and vibration, they'll start dropping at different higher points than where they were before, if that makes sense. You will start to gradually elevate higher and higher and higher. Now, this is going to help us process and transform a lot of different things with, trauma, with wounding, with different things within the collective dysfunction, the unconsciousness. And as the collective becomes more conscious, which is happening now, and especially as these surges start becoming more intense, we're moving up consciously. So the more conscious we are, the more we're going to be able to actually shift in this reality and expand and change, and the more we're going to be able to reflect higher reality into our experience too. Okay, so I hope you all got that. I know that was a lot, but in a nutshell, I tried to summarize that. That's a summary for me. Trying to summarize it for you guys, because I don't want to, be sitting here all day losing you guys. But definitely in the best way, I felt that was the best way I could express to everyone to understand, kind of in a general sense, what is taking place, right now, and what's occurring the rest of this season, into November. So yeah. And then also, I forgot one point. In November, and thank you, angels, November 4th, right before November 6th, which November 6th is the day the angels told me it was the collective trigger for grief, for the collective grief to go off. So November 4th is actually when we have a Scorpio new moon. So, already in Scorpio season, this double Scorpio energy coming in is going to be hot, 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 hot. Massive, massive transformational energy. So by the time we hit that new moon of Scorpio season in Scorpio, like, it's going to be a powerful kicker, for that that portal point in 2 days to the November 6th when the grief comes up. And that's, we're going to have a lot of the momentum from now to that point, and also with that new moon coming to place like just 2 days before, it's going to really just light up the whole path. And if we just keep surrendering, keep accepting, embracing, and allowing, keep moving through, and allowing these things to come up and filter out, I know it doesn't look like it, I know it doesn't feel like it most of the time, but we will be okay. We will make it. It will be all right. And a lot of it is going to get a lot uglier before it gets better. So I found this interesting channeling literally probably 40 minutes ago. And I didn't read it fully. I kind of just felt into it energetically, and the angels kind of were like, yeah, it's good. So we're going to read it. Just this first part they cleared. The rest of it, I feel it's more of her personal opinions and other things. So that's not really relevant to what we're talking about. So this is channeling from Susie Ward, and it says channeling Matthew Ward. I don't know who Matthew Ward is. I don't know who this channeling is, or channeler woman is. But she looks like a nice lady. She's like one of those nice older ladies that always have tea on their stove, and they have flowers on their little table. It's like one of those, she has kind of that face and that energy. So, but anyways, what she was sharing is, with loving greetings from all souls at this station. This is Matthew. The most succinct answer to what's causing these wild energies is, along with the light forces uprooting the darkness, is the crumbling of systems, policies, procedures, and ideologies that no longer serve the civilization. The third density lessons, those provide are nearing the end of their purposeful course of offering opportunities to Earth, humankind, to complete chosen karma and evolve into higher densities where marvels await. This is known at soul level, but that knowledge isn't reaching the consciousness of individuals who are choosing to stick with what is familiar instead of embracing change. If persons dear to you are among them, please honor their slower advancement pace and continue moving steadily forward on your lighted pathway. Excuse me. Now authoritarian oppression includes booster shots and vaccinating little children. Why aren't benevolent ETs stopping this insanity? The past many months have indeed been challenging to the stoutest of hearts and minds, even with the invaluable assistance of extraterrestrials. By God's authorization, powerful civilizations are infusing Earth with light, and scientists in ET special forces saved billions of lives by greatly reducing the potency of coronavirus 19 and the ingredients and solutions falsely represented in vaccines. But it is not other civilizations' prerogative, or even within their capability, to stop the current situation. It's Earth's people who must stop it, and they are. While national leaders who are Illuminati puppets are mandating proof of vaccination for employment, travel, and other standard conveniences, leaders in other countries are acceding to public demands and are abolishing all COVID measures. Thousands of medical specialists, hospital personnel, and scientists are speaking out about harmful restrictions and vaccines. Growing numbers of the populace are throwing away masks, and many are standing firm in their refusal to be vaccinated. Fear-filled information and a massive fortune are the Illuminati's arsenal. Their increasing fear of losing their fortunes and increasing fearlessness in the population is making them desperate. By claiming the population must be vaccinated twice or 3 times or more, because waves of variants will keep reoccurring and very young children also need the protection of vaccines, they are trying to produce the fear energy they require as fuel for themselves and their pandemic. All right. What will end the scourge is what the people are doing, taking back the control of their lives and livelihoods. They may not know COVID will run out its course when it no longer is fuel, but they know they're not going to live in fear of that illness. They may not know they are divine sovereign beings who need to bow to who need not bow to any authority, but they know that standing tall against oppression is the way to free themselves from it. Beautiful. So again, not sure who Susie Ward is or who Matthew Ward is, um, and I'm feeling maybe Matthew Ward may be her husband that passed away, and that's something common within the spiritual community, you know, people who have been in relationships and one passes on, and usually that person the person who's here in the physical has a grand awakening from the impact of losing the other person, and that's usually the first person they consciously connect back to or try it. It's what starts this internal journey to want to reach them still, even though they're not physically here. They still want to, find them, still want to, feel them, connect with them again because they miss them so much. And it starts this massive general, spiritual journey, for a lot of people where, some of them become very powerful channelers or spiritual healers. And, that was the start of it, was being inspired or passionately, trying to find that touch again, feel that connection again. Not even knowing that that's actually very, very possible and very real. It's actually normal. It's not even something that's magical. But, most of humanity just doesn't even know about it, So, again, I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Susie Ward. And then going over to horoscope.com. All right, let's see. For today, on October 28th. All right, the Leo moon opposes Saturn in Aquarius. The moon represents our emotional well-being and personal space, while Saturn represents obedience and domination. Saturn actually also represents the 3D matrix as well. When these two planets are connect, it can cause tension in the home. These planets can create a new structure in our home life, but not without first causing some drama along the way. What will come to the surface are the emotions that we've repressed. We just talked about this. This could be represented by your physical home because it's your foundation, or your repressed sentiments. Before you try to change and evolve, which is what the planetary opposition is demanding that you do, look within to see you need to make the effort to transform. People might be telling you to grow, but you may not want to or need to. If that's the case, it's time to understand that these are people who want to control you rather than help you. Uranus, which is retrograde in Taurus, squares the Leo moon and sets off an immense amount of energy tonight. And just to pause there, Uranus is a planet of action. It causes movement. It is the planet that definitely causes change, and it doesn't play. It literally is the energy of that. So at any point in time, conjunct or in meetings or any point in time Uranus enters the room, it is intentional completely every single time, and it is to shift the energy in that space or whatever the intention of the Uranus is. So that coming into Uranus, which is in retrograde, that means the deep internal. So it's the deep internal pull back and really doing the dig up from internal part of ourself and bringing it to the surface. This is where all the crap comes up. Why people fear and say that it's a hellish time. No, it's actually just more of the crap that you don't want to look at most of the time. It's actually when it gets pulled out without your control. It's not up to you. And that's what makes them feel like a victim most of the time. So, so Taurus represents the physical body and also the physical planet as well. So Uranus being retrograde in Taurus, means the deep internal massive shifts and changes internally for this physical planet and also for physical bodies, experiences. That means a lot of things are going to come up. A lot of things are going to get uprooted and purged from our physical vessels, which is very necessary. It's needed. Go away, stupid ad. And then we have emotions could be excitable because we're coming to the realization that the need for freedom and autonomy in our relationships and home life is high. This can also suggest the notion that our dwelling needs to be stocked with new and inventive technology to help us feel emotionally connected to it. And I would say that would be more distraction and disassociation. If you, because that last part of the end, this also suggests the notion that our dwelling needs to be stocked with new and inventive technology to help us feel. Yeah, that's what it is. Like, wanting to be stocked with new inventive technology to help us feel emotionally connected and stuff like that. It's like it's a part of disassociation and like projection, literally projecting our insecurities, our emotional complications or things onto technology and things, and using that as our external source of stability or escapism or distraction, whatever it is. And that's very common, especially being in this technological world now, the way technology is and how accessible it is to. And I mean, like, we have children of all ages that have technology now. It's in everybody's hands most of the time. It's very accessible, even for people. It's not even that expensive. A lot of things that I've seen, like in Dollar Tree, are like, they got like full on touchscreen phones in the Dollar Tree. I mean, not the Dollar Tree, Dollar General store. Excuse me, thank you. Angels are like, no, wrong color. It's not green, it's yellow. I'm like, oh, okay, Dollar General store. Like, I haven't been to it in a moment. Dollar General store. But so definitely technology is so very easily accessible. It's available everywhere, and it allows definitely like that portal for people just to get pulled down into and just completely unplug from life, even though they're physically still here, living and breathing in the dysfunction. But like, for them, they're pulling their whole focus down a rabbit hole. So definitely that is going to be a big test for everybody. And this is definitely in the awareness of God. God knows all of our little hidden plans to distract ourselves and escape. God is aware of all of our little escape routes that we have prepared long times ahead of time for these moments, and God's already got it all barred off. So like, okay, yeah, I'll let you waste the energy. I'll let you just kind of like drain yourself dry, exhausting yourself, doing all that. But it's still not going to work. But okay, go for it. Learn your lessons. And so God just laughs because He knows love's going to help you anyway. God knows it's all going to work out. So, moving forward, I felt that was just, definitely breathe, big breaths. Ugh. I wish I would have brought my water. I didn't bring it today. Big breaths today. And grounding, okay? Definitely. Well, I'm not sure what everybody else is getting. We're getting some storms, definitely some high winds and things, and we're just moving forward. Okay, it's just another moment, And I swear I could have coined this phrase or like made a T-shirt out of it. Like, how many times in my life I've said this to myself. Just learning how to get myself through very hard, tough, very insane situations in my life from childhood up, and I had to learn how to really and I definitely resonate with a lot of you who go into the crazy spins and the panic attacks and anxiety, and the spins and everything like that. Like, I have been there. I have been there so many times. I've practically made a dent in it. I've been there so many times, just to say I wanted to learn the lesson. Sometimes you could say, that I'm very aware, of just basically that experience and how I've really had to master it. And everyone can do this. Everyone can learn to really, just grab hold of your focus. There's many times when my mind was just screaming, like just erratic, just pounding, just crazy thoughts and things like that. My emotions going completely wild, just freaking out completely. There's many different moments. Things have just spun me or just like completely upset me to that point of just like exploding. And you just had to get really good at just being able to like pull your focus back, be able to talk to yourself like, hey, like pull it together, get it, all right, I got it, breathe, and learn to talk to yourself. This is why self-talk is so important, because you can't just rely on someone to always do something for you. You have to get good at showing up for yourself and being able to support yourself and be able to talk to yourself like, hey, I love you. It's going to be okay. Allow it to release, express. It's okay. You don't have to go that low. You don't have to go into that. We don't have to embody this. We can just allow it to release. right? It's not who we are, and just get used to doing that. And I've had to like really get used to telling myself like all the time, it's just for the moment. And I feel people, if you try that for yourself, be very powerful. It will help you in so many moments where you can't think of anything. All you can think is just all the mess, the misery, the pain, the fear. That's all you can think of. And you just gotta be able to just remember simple words. It's like, it's just for the moment. Okay? Be able to soothingly talk to yourself. Like, this is just for the moment. Okay? Don't care if the house is blowing up. Don't care if the family's falling apart. Don't care if the relationships are falling apart. Don't care if the children hate you. Don't care if school's not going well. Don't care if your job's falling through. Don't care what it is. Don't care what the problem is. Being able to center yourself and like, look, this is just for a moment. It's not forever. I'm not going to be here forever. This is not my life forever. This is just for a moment. It's okay to let this go. It's okay to breathe through it, embrace it, accept it. It's already here. You can't change it now. It's part of your life. Don't fight it. This is just for a moment, and then it can change. Bringing yourself back down to a steady, calm place from being all over wild and spinning all these irrational thoughts and just actions you just want to impulsively jump at the gun and do, being able to like, look, it's okay. I can calm myself down. I am stable. I am love. I am supported by God and love and all of creation. Things are going to be okay. This is just for a moment. This experience is happening right now that's triggering me just for a moment. And then it will pass. And it's all going to be okay. I don't have to go as raising the China wall up around me to keep everything and everyone out. I don't have to go as far as like completely, pressing the red button and getting all the nukes pulled out and firing off through the sky and everything like that. You don't have to go that far. Okay? Ding. It's just for a moment. And then it will pass. If you just stay calm and breathe and allow the things to show you what is going on with the energy, what are you observing? You can get past what's upsetting you and see the bigger picture, right? Let go of the little grains of sand, little grains of rice, little small details that, of course, if you look at it so close, it's going to be all you can see. And, of course, it's going to piss you off. You can't see anything else. So, like, take your face out of your hand. Stop looking at it so close, being nosy, and just look at the big picture. So much more air up here, man. I can breathe, and it's clear, and so much more light can get in instead of like right here, like I can't see or smell, I can't freaking breathe or nothing. Of course, no wonder you're irritated. No wonder you're freaking losing your mind, right? Let go of all the details. Allow yourself to breathe in through the nose, stomach out. Breathe out of your mouth, stomach in. Get that full cycle of breath in, through, and out of your system. Keep that energy moving through. Breathe in love. Breathe out love. Keep it moving through, right? It's just for a moment, and then it will change. And it can be any other moment once it changes. So even though it's shitty right now, this is your moment to prepare. So the next moment is greater and grander. There you go. And then we just move forward. We keep it pushing higher. Right? Get on the love train and we go choo-choo. We move forward. Right? All right. So we are going to pull an animal card for everybody. And then that will probably be all the time we have for today. I'm so bad. I did not. My bad. So I'm just now getting on a live stream thing. Actually, there's quite a bit of comments on here. Alright, so I'll read the comments in a moment after I do the card. angel said 2. So pulled that one. And this one. Coolio. Alright, first card. That's funny. We got the same card that we pulled yesterday. Actually, I'm not sure if this is the card we pulled yesterday or if this is the card we pulled earlier this morning on the podcast that we did. But we'll go with it. So number 57, this is the Squirrel Spirit. So y'all can see that card. And it says, believe in yourself. So number 57. So believe in yourself. You have accumulated wisdom and experience and are surrounded by all you need. An abundance of resources is available to you through the generosity of spirit and all your hard work. Spirit Squirrel shows up when you need reharding, that the acorns you have gathered and stowed away have enormous potential to grow. So relax into knowing there is always enough and you have what it takes to co-create the reality you want to experience. Through diligent preparation, you have gained wisdom and strength. How much potential you have. Believe in yourself. For Spirit believes in you and wants you to know you have enough and are enough. Doesn't that truth make you feel safe and secure? It should, for you have everything you need right now. The unpredictability of life can shake your confidence in yourself and your potential for handling the challenges that come your way. Does the thought of not having enough or being enough make you squirrely? Have you forgotten all your strengths, wisdom, and resources? You have come so far on your wits and creativity, making use of all your potential and all that Spirit presents you to help you through life's trying times. It's time to look back on your life and reheart how your needs have always been met for the highest good. Even in your most challenging times, life loves you, and so many treasures are hidden in plain sight, ready to be revealed when you most need them. So relax. Squirrel Spirit wants you to know you are poised and ready for whatever is coming next. So trust in yourself and trust that Spirit has your back. And the second card is number 9. So Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. Coolio. So that is a number 9. That's also Mom's number. Number 9. So take time out. There's a time to act and a time to focus your attention on patient strategizing. And we're going to transform strategizing into reflection, patient reflection. Strategizing is more the mind that's logical, analytical, definitely strategizing, all mind-based. We're changing that to feeling. So patient feeling, the arrival of Brown Bear Spirit signals that you are best served by foregoing hard work toward your goals at this moment and instead taking the time out to meditate or just take a nap so you can refresh yourself and begin planning what you want to co-create next. Come to know the lay of the land as you contemplate and imagine what you might do in this vast space of possibility before you and begin forming a plan. Reheart sleep allows for dreaming and rest allows for clear-headed feeling. So we're going to unplug that. I'm going to completely rip that whole sentence out. Sleep is definitely, highest for processing. You can definitely process a lot of emotional, energies and things, releasing, especially if something is very overwhelming for you and it's kind of like taking you out. Allow yourself to rest, and just rest consciously, say a prayer, cut cords, before you go down. But in regards to, allowing, it just allows you to process energy and feel into it. And you might have, dreams or visions or foresights and things like that. However, we're not going to clear it as strategizing. It's literally feeling into the energy and the truth reveals itself to you. So we're not going into like planning or this whole mind base of detective figuring things out, because the truth will easily reveal itself to you if you let it go and allow whatever is highest to be. And it may not be what you want. That's another thing too. You're not just entitled to everything in creation, even though regardless of what you may think, just regardless of what you've done in life or who you are, what age you are or whatever, we are not entitled to everything in creation. We are worthy of all love is. However, we are not entitled to anything. So any one thing that you want or that you want to know, if it's not highest, you don't have to know. You don't have to understand, it's not highest, and that's not up to you or any one of us, and so that's also humbleness and choosing to surrender versus trying to push your own way with creation, with life, with your experience. Even though it's not what you want, it's like you still need to surrender. It's still what's highest for you to go through the experience. Not just push back, be like, well, no, it's not what I want. Like, it may not be what you want at this point. It may be whatever's highest, and that's what's going to get you to even better experience so you can see more, right? So, again, that's just very important, just to surrender and accept, embrace, and allow that to come forward and let the rest go, right? Let's see, so how might you become the person you wish to be and experience whatever your heart desires? Insights will arise as you explore the possibilities and begin envisioning your plan. Knowing what you want will ensure you use your energy wisely in the days ahead. Be patient at this time. Relax and be calm and peaceful so you can recharge. The call for action will come later. When you become so frazzled that you can't decide how to move forward, Brown Bear's spirit arrives to re-heart you to let go of your impatience in getting to the answers and solving the problems that face you. Now is the time for rest and meditation. Take a break. Let insights arise. And know that you have plenty of time to make plans. Brown Bear Spirit rehearts you that sometimes the best and most effective action is non-action. Okay? Allowing the situation around you to reveal itself to you so you can better understand it. Reheart what is yours will never be withheld from you. Okay? So you really can relax and wait until the next right action is revealed. Miracles come from out of nowhere, and yours will arrive on Great Spirit's timetable. Very important. Divine timing is everything, and everything is set up to the highest divine moments in our timeline. So even though it's coming, we got to have faith and trust and hope and keep pushing, And also, again, what I was saying, one of the best actions you can probably possibly make in many moments is non-action. Being non-attached, being non-involved, having boundaries, getting space, stepping back, and getting a bigger picture, perspective on things, seeing it from a different, way. And maybe that will help you see more, learn more about yourself, and be able to help you get through what you're working on. Okay? So, love yourself, support yourself, and definitely do the things that are necessary. This season that are going to help propel you and launch you forward. This season is a massive, like if I had to like name this season a crystal, it would be a quartz crystal. Like this season is your quartz crystal for the year. It amplifies and expands literally everything like tenfold of what you do during this season. I'm telling you, it literally it is worth it, the work. If you apply yourself and put yourself into the practice and disciplines, what you do now will magnify tenfold, and it will propel you very far, throughout the next year's energies and your experience. This is what the Scorpio season does, so definitely trust yourself, be confident, apply yourself. Baby steps are okay. As long as you are actually applying yourself in any way, as long as you are making progress and pushing yourself, facing it, that's okay. No one's measuring you or standing next to you with a watch on their hand, like, checking how much time it's taking you. No one's doing that. Okay, you just got to get comfortable with pushing yourself. That it's okay. Feel confident. Feel motivated and inspired that you can do that for yourself. You can make a change, and you can actually empower yourself to do it. Right? The whole needing other people to do it, needing other people to validate you. You can do that. God doesn't make weak things. God doesn't make broken things either. You are born with everything you need to be the greatest and grandest version of yourself, to stand in that light and truth within your own power and do that for yourself. Because that shows you how much you love yourself and how much you're not going to give up on you, right? And that's the reflection that you can give to other people and keep pushing, reflecting in your outside reality. So the better we can get with facing ourselves and forgiving all the different things within ourselves, the better we can do with the outside reflection and then you can have your 5D humanity. But that's not coming before we deal with our crap. You definitely, that doesn't, everything is equal energy exchange. So there's no way in our experience are we going to somehow energetically stumble into 5D in the mess that we are in, because we are not an equal energetic match to 5D reality. Okay, so that's where we have to go through our internal work, shed these layers, dissolve it, so we can level up with vibration and become an energetic match to that reality and actually step into it. Okay, and that is for the fate and destiny for all of us, beautiful, divine, billions of souls on this planet, all the fragments of God. Okay, everybody's being called back home to the light, and we're going. So get on the love train now or later, but you'll be on it sooner or later. if by your choice or not, you'll find yourself in a seat. You're like, wait a minute, how did I get on this train? It's like, oh, welcome. It took you long enough, but we're glad you're here. So we love all of you beautiful people. Please take care of yourselves. Tomorrow, special tomorrow. So tomorrow is October 29th, and that is going to be for, there it is. I said, where's that thing at? So that's going to be for the Oracle Tap-In Day. So that's tomorrow on Facebook, YouTube, and Telegram. I might do Instagram if I have enough devices to broadcast on all of them at the same time. But that is going to be at 4 p.m. Mountain Time and 6 p.m. Eastern Time here with 5D full disclosure. So basically, we're for the whole stream. I'm going to be tapping in for anybody that wants to volunteer, wants to raise their hand on Telegram or comments. Anywhere, I'm going to be checking all of them. And just let me know if you want a message from Mom, the Angels, and it's going to be really fun. And depending on how many people are participating, will depend on how much, I guess, I'll share from the Angels and Mom, because we have to make sure we kind of get everybody, and also we're kind of a bit of like a time slot too. And so if there's anything else, but yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, definitely. So this is tomorrow. This is at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, normal stream time. So definitely be excited to come join us. It's going to be pretty interesting. I know things can be intimidating a lot of times, and I know, kind of sticking yourself out there and like even drawing attention to yourself at all, even asking a question. I know that can be very intimidating and scaring for a lot of people, and it's okay. It's definitely, this is within all of our awareness. It's something that we all got to work through, and if we can help support each other and help, each other understand ourselves, then we can definitely move this dream further forward. Okay. And that's what this is all about. It's not about making fun or, picking on anybody or anything like that. It's about awareness. It's about getting deeper within ourselves so we can figure out what the fuck is going on, so we can get back online and actually, be in our full potential. Okay, that's the whole point. So yeah, I love you all of you beautiful people. I just opened up this Facebook app on here, so I'm pretty sure it's not showing me all the comments, but from just what I see, definitely Jesse, and he said, I feel gracious for having a place to live and food from starvation. If I'm not happy with what I have, why would having more bring me happiness? Exactly. Definitely perspective is everything. And that was definitely one annoying thing that my Earth Father said all the time. It used to drive me nuts hearing his voice say is like, one of them was like, positive attitude, positive direction, and there's like, yeah, got it. Or perspective is everything. It's like, oh, well, perspective is everything. Depends on your perspective. It's like, it used to drive me freaking nuts because it's totally like a cop out the way he used it. But it actually is true though too. Perspective can change everything. The moment you see something differently, it can change your whole life. It can change completely everything you go about doing something, living or breathing or believing in something, and change how you feel about it too, just with a simple awareness. And that's literally how close we are to evolving and healing and changing and growing. It's literally just, we're missing the awareness. That's golden seed, that spark of brilliant light, that once it lights off, ignites through us, it starts connecting all these different dots. We're like, oh, I get it. They have the aha moment. They have the epiphany. You're like, oh, all right, right? So that's what we got to get to. Krista, beautiful. Got Dakota, Igor. We got Evaristo. I feel I said your name right. Igor says, wow, we're getting massive storms around here as well. Nairi, she said, huge storms in Melbs as well. Protest at Parliament canceled. We have Padam. Let's see. Dakota says, giraffe, reach for new. Oh, I get it. I was like, wait, what is the... But I guess you're talking about the animal cards. You pull an animal card with a phrase underneath it would be is reach for new heights. That's a good one. Igor B. Spirit. We have Audra on here as well. And Casey. Hi, beautiful people. All right. So, yeah, that's going to be for tomorrow. So really excited for that. I will be well prepared and definitely motivated to go the distance of the stream to do this. And I'm willing to push, and depending on how much fun we're having and how, how much participation, we could go longer than an hour. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not really a stickler for that kind of, this is like part of my joy. I live for this kind of stuff, so if people will show up, if they want to participate, I will show up and I will be prepared to serve as much love as possible through my vessel for the experience of us all. So definitely looking forward to that tomorrow. And then the podcast will be later on tonight. I have not posted the podcast from this morning. I take full accountability and responsibility for my lazy half-ass procrastination. I will transform and get on that and have that posted before the end of tonight. And then we will have another podcast later, late tonight, early morning tomorrow, as usual. And then we'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Mountain Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Time with Jerry and Buddha. So that's a lot to look forward to. So, definitely love yourselves, stay grounded, stay definitely reflective with yourself, drink tons of water. I'm telling you right now, with these energies coming in, with the solar flashes and everything, the solar storm, and all that hitting the planet and just the portals opening up, is a lot of energy releasing, pressurizing your body. It needs as much fluids as possible to help that release be as smooth as possible. If you are not hydrated, if you do not have enough water, if you're not getting enough sunlight and being outside on the ground enough, you are going to go through much more of an intense, painful, sore experience, especially a lot of things related to the head. Headaches, migraines, things like that definitely will happen more frequently during these times and these energies, especially if you're not drinking enough water or allowing yourself to release energy by being outside different moments of the day, being out, bare feet on the ground, holding a tree or something like that. All this stuff releasing in your body, it's going to create a flurry of different things. Might be a racing thoughts, might be nausea, might be different cramps or soreness in your body. Who knows? But the longer that stays in there, the longer it has to build up, right? So the more you stay on this and keep yourself on this flow and discipline every day, you're going to feel the best you can in those experiences. The best I can tell you right now. All right. So I love you all. Take care of yourselves. Very, very, very grateful for every single last one of you. Keep pushing yourselves. Trust and have faith in yourself. You wouldn't be here unless it was completely necessary, unless there was a purpose and a reason. You would not be here unless that was true. And you're here, right? So all the above is true, right? You are granted access to be here because you have a lot more to do and more to give to this world. So let's look at that. Let's focus on that, and let's prepare to give more of our heart, more of our time and focus and attention to that part of ourselves that can bring the love back to the world. Okay. Good night, everyone. Take care of yourself. We will see you all tomorrow.